Well, it's done. It's finally happening. After all the outcry, Electronic Arts and DICE have finally listened. So about a few hours ago, actually, while I was at work, I got a message from one of my friends, actually also at my office, telling me about how DICE had actually removed the loot crate system from Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'm actually calling it Battlefront 2 because for the longest time that's basically all it's been, is sloppy wet fart that hasn't been able to amass any kind of positive outlook other than the fact that the game itself is actually good, but the microtransaction system in this game has been so utterly abysmal that there's been no way that anyone could really recommend it. So, Star Wars Battlefront 2 until further notice. But earlier today, we got that email, or in the evening, saying that, or not an email, but I got a message saying that they were actually going to completely remove the microtransaction system from the game until further notice. And at first I was like, what? There's no way. That seems way too good to be true. However, it is. On Reddit, and we actually got a post that comes from EA's general manager actually at DICE saying, as we approach the worldwide launch, it's clear that many of you feel there are still challenges in the design. We've heard the concerns about potentially giving players unfair advantages, and we've heard that this is overshadowing an otherwise great game. This was never our intentions. Sorry we didn't get this right. Well, okay, I'm gonna stop there and say, bullshit. Of course this was your intention. Maybe not to get this backlash, but what you were trying to do was to nickel and dime and cheat people out of their hard-earned cash as much as you could and get as much money as you possibly could, because you have to answer to the general overlords over at EA, and EA has to answer to their shareholders. And so they came up with the most scummy gambling business practice that they possibly could, and perhaps the worst in video game history. It's disgusting. It was downright disgusting, and the player base actively spoke out about it. Anyway, continuing on, it says, we hear you loud and clear, so we're turning off all in-game purchases, period. We will now spend more time listening, adjusting, and balancing and tuning. This means that options to purchase crystals in the game is now offline, and all progression will be earned through gameplay. The ability to purchase crystals in-game will become available at a later date, only after we've made changes in the game. We'll share more details as we work through this. So this makes me think that DICE is going to try to make it just cosmetic, which means their shitty emotes that they have, and the no skins that they have, and I guess the victory poses. And okay, cool, yeah, you can keep those shitty things in the game, but I don't think that anyone's going to waste money on them. They're not nearly as appealing as any Overwatch loot crates, but you know what? Fine. Yeah, no, keep it that way. But the moment that they start putting more stat-changing elements into the game is the moment that everyone needs to continue to cry out again. I don't think that they can pull this off. I don't think that they'll be able to fit microtransactions that have tangible progression into the loot boxes again, at least not with this game. I'm sure they're going to try it later down the road, but I am so glad that the outcry was this big. Right now, Battlefront 2 actually went through multiple little revisions before the game's official launch. Now, I actually did a Twitch stream on it a little bit ago. I've done multiple videos covering, this whole debacle, but this might be, at least for now, the final one, because, EA's listened. We won, gamers. This is what happens when you step up together and actually try to work towards something that you really care about. We can tell developers that they're at our whim. They can pour all the money in the world that they want into a product and try to convince us that this is a worthwhile purchase. However, at the end of the day, we're the ones who decide if they get paid or not, basically. And so if you see something that is complete bullshit like this, and you get enough people to talk about it, well then this proves that you can make change. This isn't the only time that we've made major change in the game industry either. You can look back to the Xbox One's first launch. Who remembers that entire crazy shit fest where they wanted it to always be online, where they wanted it to be basically a DRM box and that was about it. They turned that whole ship around, didn't they? And Electronic Arts, which tried to pull the fast one on us, is now turning their entire ship around. But don't be fooled. Electronic Arts is not trying to be generous. Electronic Arts right now is trying to save its face because it is in some terrible, terrible shape after the release of Star Wars Battlefront 2. So, ultimately, this is a good thing. However, I don't think that Electronic Arts should be celebrated. I don't think that we should be applauding DICE for their noble decision to change the game. I think that, in fact, if we start doing that, then they'll actually be like, okay, we were able to turn them around. No, what we have to be like is good. You released the game that you should have. You released the bare minimum of what everyone else in the game industry is doing. congratulations, you made an actual game with tangible progression that you could actually earn in game. That doesn't deserve celebration. It's like, oh yeah, we were trying to rob you, but then we changed our mind. And, sorry that we tried to rob you. I hope it's okay. Like, no, you tried to rob us, and, yes, it's good that they turned it around, but, it's important also to keep a critical eye on this as well and be like, okay, for the future, don't pull this shit again. Because if, they try again, it needs to blow up in their face just like it did this time. We can fight back against loot boxes, and we can fight back against where the game industry as a whole wants it to turn. We can sway it back into the right direction again. And this proves it. Good job, everybody. Good job, game industry. You all earned this. Electronic Arts, continue to go fuck yourselves. Nobody cares about you. DICE, thank you for making this actual change. The developers are generally the ones who are at the whims of, their publishers. So, DICE, I applaud you. EA, go fuck yourself. And gamers, nice job. This has been a little status update on everything that's going on. I'll give you my actual opinion about what I actually think about Star Wars Battlefront 2, later in the week. I got a new schedule, and so I'm trying to adapt to it again, and I moved again back to my old place again. So there's a lot going on again. That's also why I haven't been uploading as much as usual. Oh, what a surprise, right? But thank you, everybody, for tuning into this, whoever's watching. I'll see you all around next time, and have a good one. Peace.